OpenAI has recently released GPT-5, and if you play your cards right, this update could be the foundation of an entire business. Now, unlike older models, GPT-5 isn't just a text predictor. It can reason across steps, generate usable front-end code, integrate with your tools, and even run in real-time voice conversations. Now, that means it's now possible for someone with zero technical background to package these capabilities and sell them as services. Now, the truth is, most businesses, they desperately want AI, but they do not know where to start. They are confused by the noise, stuck in outdated workflows, and worried that they will fall behind. And that gap between these powerful tools and businesses who cannot implement them is where you come in. In this video, I am going to show you 5 no-code GPT-5 services that you can start offering right now, complete with stacks, use cases, and how to pitch them to clients. But here is what's different about this moment. GPT-5's new capabilities, especially its real-time voice, improved reasoning, and code generation, have just made several service categories viable that were not before. And we're not talking about basic chatbots or simple text generation anymore. We are actually talking about systems that can hold natural phone conversations, generate functional applications, and automate complex multi-step workflows. And the businesses that need these solutions, they are already paying other people thousands of dollars for inferior versions. So let's just dive into exactly how you can capture this opportunity, starting with the most accessible service that really anybody can launch this week. Now let me start with the most beginner-friendly option that can have you earning within weeks. Now every business, they lose money from missed calls and delayed responses. A recent study has shown that 80% of callers will hang up if they reach voicemail, and 60% of website visitors will leave if they cannot get immediate answers to their questions. But what if your clients never had to worry about missing another lead again? Well, with GPT-5's new real-time voice capabilities, you can offer businesses a 24/7 AI receptionist that sounds completely natural, answers common questions, qualifies leads, and even books appointments directly into their calendar. Now, this was available before where you were able to build out these solutions, these voice solutions, but now there's less hallucinations and it is just performing better overall. And this isn't like those robotic phone systems from the past. I mean, this is genuinely conversational AI that can handle the complex back and forth discussions. So here is how the service actually works. When somebody actually calls or chats, the AI receptionist just greets them naturally, listens to their questions, and provides helpful responses just based on the business's specific information. Now, if it's a sales inquiry, it can actually qualify the lead by asking the right questions and then seamlessly booking them into the owner's calendar. Now, for support questions, it can provide instant answers or just escalate them to a human team member when actually needed. Now, the tech stack is surprisingly simple. So you can actually just be using GPT-5 directly through platforms like Vappy or 11 Labs, which handle most of the complexity for you. You do not have to be doing much in the back end. And these platforms, they let you integrate GPT-5's voice capabilities without dealing with the raw APIs yourself. Now, for the phone integration, you can connect it through Twilio's media streams or just use Vappy's built-in phone system. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, I do not know how to set up phone systems or integrate any APIs. Well, here's the thing. You do not need to master every technical detail before you start. And actually, I encourage you not to. You just need to understand the service that you are selling and just know enough about the system to set it up and deliver it. Now, I have plenty of tutorials covering exactly how to set this up, and you might find that it is actually easier than you would expect. And the hardest part is usually just getting started. Now, before we continue, I just want to mention that I will be sharing this entire framework in my free community where you can get access to all of the templates and the setup guides. We have over 11,000 members now, all entrepreneurs, developers, and business owners who are all building AI services. It's really just a great place to meet other AI enthusiasts, ask me questions directly, join competitions with rewards, and just get help when you are feeling stuck. And the link is down below in the description. We would love to have you join us in there. So with that being said, you just need to start simple. Pick a local business that you know, maybe a dentist office, a law firm, or contractor, and offer just to set up a basic version for completely free as a case study or testimonial in return. So you want to be focusing on their most common questions and the call types. And once you do have one working example, one working case study, then you can refine your process and start charging anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 for setup, plus anywhere from $500 to $1,500 per month for the hosting, the maintenance. Now, the positioning for the service, it's pretty simple. You could just say, never miss another lead. Your AI receptionist works 24/7, so you do not have to. Now, that's a value proposition that really any business owner can understand immediately. And this is actually something that we have sold the most of and what we are focusing on mostly within our agency. The second opportunity is what I call automation as a service, and this is just where GPT-5's new agent mode becomes incredibly powerful. So here's just what most business owners do not realize, is they are spending hours every single week on tasks that can be completely automated. Now, things like responding to common emails, updating spreadsheets, following up with any of the leads, processing invoices, or scheduling social media posts, they know that these tasks are repetitive and time-consuming, but they have no idea how to automate them. Or maybe they've talked to people who just didn't even know how to automate it themselves, or inexperienced agencies. And this is where you come in. Your job isn't to build complex software. It is to audit their workflows and identify the repetitive tasks and set up smart automations that handle them all automatically. So here's a real practical example. So let's just say you're working with a real estate agent. Now, every time that they are getting a lead coming in from their website, they need to send them a welcome email and the person to their CRM, and then schedule a follow-up call and maybe send some property listings that actually match the lead's criteria. Right now, they are doing all of this manually, which just means that it takes anywhere from 15, maybe 20 minutes per lead. And sometimes, well, things definitely do slip through the cracks. I mean, we're all human. But with GPT-5 and automation tools that are available to us, you can set up a system where the lead form submission just triggers an entire workflow for them. Now, GPT-5 after this is going to analyze the lead's information and then craft a personalized welcome email, and then determine which properties to actually recommend just based on their preferences, then schedule the follow-up all in the calendar and update their CRM with any relevant notes. So, what used to take 20 minutes of manual work now can happen instantly and consistently without any errors. Now, the technical implementation uses tools like N8N or Make.com, and these are no-code visual workflow builders that just let you connect different apps without having to write any code at all. You can just create workflows using this drag and drop interface, and then GPT-5 is going to handle all the thinking parts like analyzing data, making decisions, and even generating personalized content. But beyond that, GPT-5's new agent mode is particularly powerful here because it can actually help you build these end-to-end workflows and set up anything else in the back end. But I do want to be very clear. You should not use the agent mode directly in production workflows. And it won't be perfect by any means, but it can serve as an excellent foundation to help you build out the workflows, or at least figure out things that you're just not sure how to do. So if the agent mode can't help you with something, then you can always use GPT-5 in regular chat mode to explain concepts and break down any complex processes, or just create step-by-step guides all tailored to your learning style. And here's something important I need to address. If you're just telling yourself that you do not know how to do something, or maybe you can't do something because you aren't technical or you haven't learned it yet, then you will never succeed unless you actually change your mindset, because everything is literally dumbed down for us in this day and age. So you can have AI help you learn anything at all in a way that fits your preferred learning approach. So the tools, they exist. The tutorials, they also exist. And the AI assistants exist as well. The only thing that is standing in your way is the decision to start learning. But let's just talk about pricing realistically. So you obviously won't be able to charge these amounts out of the gate. You'll likely have to do free work in the beginning just to build your portfolio and show people actual results before you start closing clients for the amounts that we are about to discuss. But once you do actually have that portfolio, some results generated, and proven case studies, we charge a minimum of $1,500 for what we call a feasibility study. And essentially, this is just a pilot project where we just identify and automate key workflows. And then from there, we get these clients on retainers ranging anywhere from a minimum of $3,000 all the way up to $10,000 per month, depending on the complexity and the scope of work. But here is really the secret to getting started. You don't need to be an automation expert if that isn't obvious from day one. So to start by watching tutorials on N8N, Make.com, build maybe a few simple workflows for yourself, and then just offer to create one or maybe two basic automations for free for a business that you know, friends, family, think of them. Use that experience just to refine your process and learn what actually works. And the positioning here can be something like, well, we will eliminate your repetitive work so that you can focus on growing your business. Every business owner, they understand the value of getting their time back. Most small businesses, they're running their operations on a mess of spreadsheets or sticky notes and just random software tools that don't really connect to one another. Now, they really do dream of having custom tools that bring everything together, but they just think that custom software development costs tens of thousands of dollars and takes months to build. But with GPT-5, you can now generate functional user interfaces and applications just from simple descriptions and then actually deploy them very quickly using these modern platforms. So this means that you can deliver custom internal tools in days or weeks, not months of what it used to be. And here is how this actually works in practice. So let's just go ahead and say that you're working with a small marketing agency. Right now, they're just tracking projects in one spreadsheet, managing their team's time in another, and trying to pull reports from 3 different tools. It's really messy, clunky, time-consuming, and prone to errors. Instead, you can use GPT-5 to generate a custom dashboard that just brings all of this together, where you are going to be describing what you want. The third service opportunity is building custom dashboards and internal tools, and this is where GPT-5's code generation capabilities really do shine. So you could say something like, I want you to create a project management dashboard with client projects, task assignments, time tracking, and automatic report generation. And from there, GPT-5 can actually generate the front-end code for a clean and professional looking interface. But the key insight here is that GPT-5 is incredibly good at generating user interface code, but you still actually have to, host and deploy these applications somewhere. And that is where these tools like Vercel is going to come in. So these platforms, these let you actually take that GPT-5 generated code and instantly deploy them where there will be working applications with proper hosting, authentication, and database connections. And then for the backend functionality, like connecting to their existing data sources or maybe sending automated emails, you just have to wire these applications to automation workflows using, the same N8N or Make.com tools from the previous method. So this dashboard, it might have a, send client report button that triggers an N8N workflow to generate a PDF report and then actually email it all automatically. And this development process, it's surprisingly fast. You can often go from an initial concept to a working prototype in just a few hours. And then from there, you can just spend a few days refining the interface, connecting all the integrations. Now, if you were to compare that to any traditional software development, which would take weeks or months for the same functionality. And what makes this service particularly valuable is that you are not just building software, you are solving workflow problems. And the businesses that do need these tools, they're usually dealing with inefficiencies that do cost them real money. And when you can consolidate 5 different processes into just one clean interface that's easily worth $5,000 to $15,000 for the right client. So to get started with this service, I recommend just building a few sample dashboards for common business types. Well, maybe a client management system for consultants, or maybe a job tracking system for contractors, or an inventory management system for retailers. And having these working demos just makes it so much easier to show potential clients what you can actually build for them. And they will think that you are technically equipped to do this. And the positioning for this is really straightforward. So you could go ahead and say something like, we will build a custom business tool in days, not just months, and we will build exactly what you need to run your business more efficiently. Obviously, you might want to be a little bit more specific. Of course, you will want to tweak this a little bit, maybe be a little bit more specific and, include some numbers within there. But of course, this is going to be a great foundation to start off with. The fourth opportunity is offering complete website and sales funnel development, but with a twist that makes you way more competitive than traditional web designers. Now, most businesses, they're paying hundreds or thousands of dollars per month for website builders, form tools, email marketing platforms, and even analytics. And they still end up with websites that do not convert well and systems that just do not integrate properly. What you can do is offer them something better. You can offer them a completely custom website and funnel with built-in automations, no monthly SaaS fees, and full ownership of their systems. So here is how this service actually works. You can be using GPT-5 to generate the complete website code, the layout, the copy, the styling, and the functionality. But instead of using a website builder that charges any monthly fees, you can deploy everything on platforms like Vercel, which offers generous free tiers and very affordable paid plans. And the key advantage is that you are building native forms and automations directly into the website code. So when somebody fills out a contact form, maybe, instead of paying for a third-party form service like Tally or Typeform, the form submission just goes directly to your custom API endpoint, which then triggers your automation workflows to maybe send emails, update databases, and notify the business owner. So let's just go ahead and walk through a specific example. So let's just say that you are building a website for a fitness coach. GPT-5 is going to generate a conversion optimized layout with sections for services, testimonials, maybe pricing, and a consultation booking form. And instead of embedding a Calendly widget that costs $15 per month, you can even build your own more flexible booking system for free that connects directly to their Google Calendar through an automation workflow. And when someone books a consultation, the system just automatically sends a confirmation email, adds the appointments to the coach's calendar, and then sends a reminder email 24 hours before the appointment and logs the lead in their CRM. All of this is happening without any monthly software subscriptions, and the tech stack is really simpler than it sounds. You're just using GPT-5 to generate Next.js applications, and this is really just a popular framework that makes it really easy to build modern websites with these built-in API functionalities. Vercel is going to host the Next.js applications for free for most small business use cases, and it can automatically handle things like SSL certificates and global content delivery. And don't worry about all that technical jargon if you don't know what it means. But for the automation workflows, you're just going to be, again, connecting the form submissions to N8N or Make.com workflows through webhooks. And essentially, when someone submits a form, it is just going to trigger your automation sequences to handle the follow-up notifications and the data management from there. So the value proposition here is going to be pretty compelling. Instead of paying $100 to $300 per month for these various SaaS tools, clients instead get a custom website with all the functionality that they need. They own all of their data, and their ongoing costs are going to be pretty minimal. And the service typically sells for anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 for a complete website with automations, compared to $1,500 to $3,000 for a traditional website. That does not include the custom automation features. And this higher price, it's justified because you're delivering ongoing value and eliminating their monthly software costs. And one thing that I do want to mention is that these websites and funnels can be very supplemental to the automation services that we had discussed earlier. They make a great add-on to your original automation offering. And since many clients who want workflow automations, they also need better websites and lead capture systems. So to get started, just go ahead, build a few template websites for common business types. Maybe it's a service business landing page or an e-commerce store or a course sales funnel. Now, just having these templates, it makes it much faster to customize these solutions for your specific clients. In the positioning, you can say you're going to get a website that works as hard as you do. It's going to be custom built with automations included, no monthly fees. Again, you will want to be more specific and tweak this to your particular solutions and what you're actually offering, and tries to include something that's quantifiable. So saying like, we'll save you X amount of hours or drive you an X amount of revenue every single month, something like that. This fifth service is what I call an AI front office. This is going to be an intelligent chat system that can answer complex questions about a business just using their specific knowledge base with human oversight for quality control. And what's really powerful is this actually complements the AI Receptionist service from Method 1 perfectly. And in fact, this combination, having both voice and the chat AI all working together, is what we've sold the most of. In fact, this combination of having both voice and chat AI working together is what we have sold the most of within our business. It's also what others in this space are selling the most of too, because it actually moves the needle within a business. Most business websites, they have FAQ sections or knowledge bases that visitors never read, and people want to ask specific questions and get immediate personalized answers. But hiring human chat support can be expensive. And basic chatbots, they can give frustrating robotic responses that often just drive these visitors away. But an AI lead concierge just solves this by combining GPT-5's conversational abilities with all of the business's specific knowledge and adding a human-in-the-loop approval system for sensitive responses. So here is how this works. When a visitor just starts chatting on the website, they're just talking to a GPT-5 powered assistant that has access to all of the business's documentation, pricing information, policies, and the FAQs. But Instead of just giving out generic responses, the system uses what's called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, to find the most relevant information from the business's knowledge base and use that to craft accurate and specific answers. And this human in the loop component is going to be crucial for some businesses that need to be careful about what information that they are sharing or how they respond to certain type of questions. And again, for sensitive queries like maybe pricing for custom projects or policy questions, the system can draft a response just based on the knowledge base, but send it to a team member in maybe Slack or Teams or email just for approval before the visitor actually sees it. So let's just go ahead and give you a very concrete example. So let's say you're working with a software consulting company. Maybe a potential client visits their websites and just asks, do you have experience building inventory management systems for manufacturing companies? And what would something like that typically cost? Well, the AI lead concierge is going to search through their case studies and project documentation and then find relevant examples of any similar projects. And then it is going to draft a response that mentions their experience with manufacturing clients, and from there provide a rough price range based on their historical project data. But since this involves pricing and project scope, the draft response just gets sent to a Slack channel where the sales manager can review it, make any adjustments, and approve it before it goes to the visitor. From the visitor's perspective, they're just going to get a detailed, helpful response within a minute or two. From the business's perspective, they are capturing qualified leads and providing accurate information without having to monitor the chat constantly or emails constantly. In the technical implementation, this is going to involve several components working together, where you are going to build a chat widget using this modern web technology, host it on Vercel with their AI SDK for smooth streamlining responses. In the backend, again, it's going to be using end-to-end workflows to actually orchestrate everything. So when a message is going to come in, it's going to query the knowledge base where the knowledge is going to be stored in maybe Supabase with vector search or Pinecone, and then generate a response with GPT-5 and either send it directly or just route it through Slack for approval, depending if they need that human in the loop. And usually that human in the loop is going to be for emails, not really chat on a website. Now, setting up the knowledge base, this is actually one of the most valuable parts of the service. This is where you are going to be helping the business organize all of their documentation, case studies, pricing guides, and policies all into a searchable format. In this process alone, it often reveals gaps in their documentation, and it also helps them clarify their messaging. And this is typically priced as a premium service and something that we have charged high ticket for, anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000 just for setting up the knowledge base, and $500 to $1,500 per month for hosting and optimization and whatever else. And the wide range in setup pricing, it really depends on the scope. Whether you're working with a small business that might be on the lower end, while enterprise clients with extensive documentation and complex approval workflows can really justify this higher pricing. And the return on investment for these clients, it's very strong because they're converting more website visitors into qualified leads, all while reducing their time that their team spends answering and routine questions. And the return on investments for clients is strong because they are converting more website visitors into qualified leads, all while reducing time that their team spends answering these routine, monotonous questions. So to get started with this service, focus on businesses with complex products or services that do require a lot of explanation, like B2B software companies, e-commerce companies, professional service firms, or businesses with extensive product catalogs. And the positioning here can just be saying, turn every website visitor into a conversation all automatically where you do not have to handle it. The intelligent AI system, you don't even have to mention AI, but this is going to know your business inside and out. Now, before we get into the pricing part, I wanted to mention that if you are looking for help doing all of this and just really a way to speed up your learning process of running your own AI automation agency, then we are taking on just 2 more people to work one-on-one with myself and my team, where we will literally handhold you to starting and growing your business and teaching you everything from A to Z, whether that's how to actually source and find clients, or just how to build out everything and build relevant solutions for your audience and much more. So we guarantee that you will close clients within 90 days. And if you do not, we offer a full refund. But just to preface, this isn't needed to be successful, and it's just a way to help those who have been actually asking for this sort of thing and wants to learn everything that we have done and the best frameworks for success to build their business even faster. We are very selective about who we actually work with, so again, that's why we only take on 2 people at a time. And the link to actually apply, it's down below in the description. But again, like, you do not need to pursue that or join that to be successful. It's not needed. So let's just go ahead and talk about how to actually package and price these services. And the key, it is to start with a clear and simple offer that these businesses can actually understand immediately. So for each service, I do recommend a 2-tier pricing structure where you have a setup fee that covers the initial development and then also the configuration. Now for each service, I do recommend a 2-tier pricing structure where you have a setup fee that covers the initial development and configuration, and then you have a monthly maintenance fee that is going to cover the hosting, the updates, and the ongoing optimization. So here are the ranges that work very well for us and what we have seen work well in the space. So for the AI receptionist, you can charge anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 for the setup and $500 to $1,500 per month. For the automation as a service, you can be charging $1,500 minimum for a feasibility study and then $3,000 to $10,000 and more for a monthly retainer. For the custom dashboards, you can be charging $3,000 to $8,000 to set up and then $300 to $800 per month. Website and funnel studio, you can charge here $3,000 up to $8,000 for the setup and $200 to $600 per month for this. And then lastly, for the AI front office, this can be $3,000 all the way up to $15,000 for the setup. And this is actually what we have seen sell. And we've sold systems close to the $15,000 mark, and then $500 to $1,500 mark for the monthly service. And this is, kind of like the sweet spot where we have stayed within. Now, the key to commanding these prices, it's demonstrating clear return on investments. So please do not focus on selling features. You have to focus on selling outcomes, where you can say you will save 10 hours per week or never miss another lead, or maybe eliminate your monthly software costs. And these are all much more compelling than, saying AI powered automation workflows. Businesses, to put it frankly, they don't know what the hell that means. Now, for getting your first clients, you can just start with your existing network, but you obviously do not want to ask them directly. Ask if they know any business owners who might be interested in free consultation about automation or automating their workflows or improving their lead capture. And I have found that this second degree approach, it's much less pushy and it often leads to better qualified prospects. And with that being said, this opportunity with GPT-5, it is real, but it is not going to last forever. Every single month that passes by, more people, they will figure this out. It is going to get more saturated, and the competition, it will increase. And the businesses that need these services, they exist right now, and they are already paying other people to solve these problems in less effective ways. We have been a prime example of this. We've been running our agency for nearly 2 years now. So you do not need to master every technical detail before you start. You just need to understand the problems that you're solving, learn enough about the tools to deliver results, figuring out what's possible, what's not possible. And most importantly, take action. This is just a step that nobody ever does. They stay watching YouTube videos like this one. You need to take action. So just pick one of these 5 services, spend a week building a simple demo, and start showing it to potential clients. Now, I have put together a full guide for this entire video, going through what you should be doing, how you can be going about it, and you can get that for completely free in my school community. So again, link is down below in the description. Make sure to go grab that. And just to say again, everything that you need to get started, it's right in front of you. The question isn't whether these opportunities exist, because they do. The question is just whether you're going to take advantage of them while they're still wide open. But with that being said, I really appreciate you if you have stuck around this long. Subscribe for more breakdowns just like this, and check out my other videos if you want to get a more technical, deep dive into how to actually build out some of these systems, the back end, that sort of thing, how to find clients, how to actually close deals, all of that stuff. And if you have any particular requests, drop it down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this video, if you guys like this style of content. But with that being said, please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.